Hello plant friends, and welcome back to my abandoned greenhouse here in beautiful semi-rural Hawkesbury. It was gifted to me by my housemate when I first moved here so that I can continue my orchid growing adventures and learn some new skills. My name's Alonia and I'm a novice orchid grower here in semi-rural Hawkesbury, navigating the wonderful world of orchids, and I'm learning how to grow these glorious plants so that they thrive in my somewhat wacky subtropical climate. And then I go ahead and share what I learn along the way with all of you. Southern Hemisphere style, of course. In the first episode of the series, which I will link here, I started by tidying up outside and removing parts of a lily-pilly tree and making more space for access. Again, as a few days have gone by since I did the work, I'm going to take you back in time where I start sorting out some of the areas inside the greenhouse behind me and use some of the techniques that I've learned from, weirdly, Midwestern Magic Cleaning, where he sorts out small areas one at a time. Hello plant friends, welcome to day 2 of the great abandoned greenhouse cleanup. I've already taken out part of the lily-pilly tree, which is just to the left of my screen here, but now I'm going to start on the front door of the greenhouse. It doesn't move, it's jammed into the ground at the bottom, but it's also coming apart. So what I need to do is take the door off, and that will allow me free access in and out of the greenhouse so I can actually start to empty out what's on inside. So first things first, it's to note that the door itself is in pieces. There's a pane of glass which is barely being held in, so I have my trusty hammer to start prying off some of the facings here so that I can lift the glass out. So without further ado, let's get into it. Well, oops, I broke the glass. Oh well, I'm not recovering it, that's okay. It doesn't matter. I'll be replacing this door with an actual sliding greenhouse door, which I will put across here and I can slide it backwards and forwards as I need it. But now to clean up the glass. Right, so the glass is all cleaned up. I actually chose to do that off camera just because there's a little bit of breakage over the ground, so I just wanted to concentrate on that and not worry about filming. I've also taken out all of the insulation and the sealant from the hinge side of the door. So what I'll do now is I'll go find a screwdriver, possibly a drill, and take the door off. Right, so I found the drill, but I didn't find the drivers for the screw pieces. So what I'll do is I'll just use a little ratcheting screwdriver just to take the 12 or so screws out of the door. This might take a while, I'll be back. Five minutes and I've only gotten 3 screws out with a tiny little ratcheting screwdriver. So what I'll do is I'll wait for the housemate to come home so that I can ask him where the driver pieces are, and then I will just go ahead and start cleaning out some of the pots and sorting out in here. I'm just going to have a break and I'll see you when I get back. It was at this point in the editing process that I realised my mic had once again gone flat. So alas, you are stuck with present day Alonia doing a voiceover. I started the interior cleanup by clearing out old bags of bark that had been long forgotten. They were different sizes and pretty old. Thus, they all got put aside to be used as mulches. Neither myself nor the housemate knew how long they had been there, and we have plenty of fresh bark to use. Now the bench is cleared, I was able to start going through the mountain of pots on the tall shelving units and pulling down and harvesting mounts from the windows and sorting like items together. There are many Vander baskets and non-recyclable pots. A friend from one of the orchid societies that I belong to actually asked for a bunch of pots in which to repot a heap of plants for the raffle plants that he has. So I was able to rehome some 150 50mm pots and 40 or so 80mm pots, which is fantastic. Yet another friend asked for 30 80mm pots for a potting experiment. He is growing 30 odd dendrobium seedlings in different media mixes to see which work best for his area. It is great having orchidee friends. We get to live vicariously and also learn through them as well. It might look like I'm moving things around, but what I'm actually doing is consolidating like objects to make eventual disposal easier. My greenhouse is quite the distance from the front yard where the bins are actually kept, so I'm making bags of rubbish and those are all to be thrown out together. Clearing this basket will allow me a space to later put the copious bottles of questionable chemicals that I do eventually find, and it's in the sorting phase I also found broken polystyrene, empty bark bags which have become bin bags, an empty chili bin and a lot of fishing reels. Most of the items I found I was able to throw away or give away, but the tools and equipment have to be decided by my housemate as they are his after all. It has been quite a while since I filmed this, and recently I decided to set off a bug bomb in here. I didn't film it, but it was done to remove the many wasps that we have that had visited me this day. Also, I'm a terrible arachnophobe and this tidy up set all my nerves on edge. I am clearing the chicken wire and the mounts and the hanging pots so that I can remove the wire, and I have a plan to install some sort of different light diffusing in the form of a window film or even a curtain, but I also want to do a feasibility assessment for installing a vent in here. This bottle was simply a spray bottle of stale water. I had a suspicion of what it was based on others that I had found laying around in other areas of the garden. I had already sorted a lot of chemicals into a single pile, ready to put into the basket once it had been cleared. I did fill it in preparation for dropping off to a waste chemical collection point. I know some of these are restricted to the horticultural industry, so they do need to be responsibly disposed of and not just tipped into the drains or down the sewage system. The simple act of cleaning out unwanted and broken items makes the cleanup satisfying, and the resulting space that emerges allows me to dream a little and think about what I want to acquire for this area and how I want to make it better. I've also been asked by one viewer how they could further support my channel. So I've created a profile on Buy Me a Coffee, which I'll link below. You are able to make a one-off no obligation donation by buying me a coffee, and any money donated will go towards the operating costs for my channel or be saved up towards a new piece of equipment for my greenhouse. I have one request, and that is you only go ahead and do this if you feel that you can afford it. I don't want to put anyone out. I am also setting up an associated email address, but I haven't quite gotten to that yet. 2 hours of sorting and tidying yielded a few bags of rubbish, a box of recycling, some recovered items for later sorting by my housemate, a bucket of recovered mounts, and a basin of perlite that I swept up as I wasn't enjoying the crunchy feeling underfoot. All of the rubbish went into the regular rubbish bins, green waste into the green waste bins, and recycling into the recycling bins. This is to be all disposed of in the coming days. Inside, I still have a lot of pots on benches as I need to clear up elsewhere so that I have somewhere to move them into for further sorting. There are still some bags of various planting media around, a box of random hardware, and of course the box of questionable chemicals. I still have a lot to do in here, but now I can move and think about the next phase, which of course is the topic for the next installment of this series. Well, plant friends, thank you for joining me on this side quest, creating a new grow space. Please let me know in the comments if you've ever created a new grow space from scratch. If you found this video enjoyable, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to follow along on this adventure, please do press the subscribe button with the notification bell turned on so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, grow well, enjoy your plants, and remember they are always going to surprise you, and it's usually when you're not looking. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next installment. Bye for now.